now, I wanted to do the 2-piece sleeve, but I don't think that's gonna be feasible. I wanna finish up the body, and then next class we'll do the 2-piece sleeve. I'm gonna talk about now the collar. If you do not have enough paper on the top, please tape it down. Because again, this is your map. Your map has all your information. This is where you guys have like different designs in one and changes. If something doesn't fit, you change it in your map and you can copy these pieces. Do you think I can make this into 3 different jackets right now? Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I have the single breast, the double breast, and I can do a princess or no princess. Does that make sense? So please keep in mind that you want to have your map with you and you're not going to cut it. You're going to copy your pieces. This is important. This is something that you guys honestly won't learn in the industry. You'll see people doing their maps and they roll them up and you're like, what the fuck did you just do? And then you're like, where's the pattern? And they're like, oh, it's on the map. Just take out the piece. And then you're like, what? Yeah. Okay, so now that we're done with the body, or close enough, with the lapel, now we're gonna cater to creating the collar, okay? The collar is also gonna be here in the map. Remember, the black thick line is your permanent line. That's it. There's no more changes. So whatever we do for the collar, that's a separate situation, okay? It's not messing anything up with your original body. Does it sound like a plan? Tamara, are you good? Can you see? Because this is really important. So the first thing is that we're gonna go back to the HPL line. I might just do that. We're gonna go back to the HPL line and you're gonna go into the shoulder 1/2 inch. This is very important. Okay, so you go over. This is going to be C, right? If you guys remember, we didn't even use it. Then you're going to blend this into E. So C and E are going to be blended into each other. This does not mean your neckline changes. We need this extra for your neckline and your collar because when we sew something that's a little longer than where it's supposed to be, it pushes up and rolls over. We need that for this area right here. You guys see that? That's what it's for. Then you're going to get your back, unless you change your neckline like a portrait collar or anything, you're going to make sure you have the measurement of your back neckline. Use your straight ruler. Minus 3 3/8. And you're gonna go straight up, squared off from the shoulder, that measurement of your back neckline. So mine was 3 3/8. And I'm gonna make this I. Don't ask me why that number is there, but if you guys are following the book, it correlates with it. How did I get 2 greens? Okay, so now this is the first steps, okay? Are you guys ready for your permanent line of your neckline? You're going to, remember on the collar, side note, let's put a pin in this. Remember in your collar, when you guys are doing it, it's like straight in the back, and then what happens in the center front?
It goes up.
It goes up, how much, do you remember?
I think it's 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch, right? Well, this is gonna happen to the back instead. So what we're doing is that we're working backwards. This is our front neckline right now, and then our back is gonna go dip in. Okay, so it can push up and roll over like this, okay? So it can give us that roll. So I'm going to go towards my armhole, 1/2 inch from I, and just put a little dot. That's all I'm gonna do. This is gonna be K, okay? Then I'm going to make sure that I grab my French curve and I'm gonna grab another color. Let's make it purple. No, it's gonna be confusing. Let's make it this weird cocoa brown. Yeah, damn, that's black. Jesus Christ. That's better. Okay, so what you're gonna do with your ruler is that you're gonna connect K to C. Almost like an S shape. The curve is going to go towards the shoulder. So if your shoulder is on the other side, goes towards the shoulder, okay? So it's like this, right? If it's on the other side, it goes like this. This is very important. So we're gonna connect C and K, bless you. And it's gonna give you kind of a curve. Okay, so now if you guys notice, this looks like an S. You guys see that? That's what we want. That's when you know you did this right, okay? So then we're going to now use the ruler to square off from K in that curved line, and it's gonna give us an angled line. This is now the width of your collar. This depends on how wide you guys want this area to be and the back to be. So for mine, it's a standard, let's do mine standard 2.5 inches. If you guys want to be extra as fuck, 3 inches would be good. But if you guys go anywhere between 3 to 4 to 5 inches, then we have to slash and spread some stuff, okay? So I'm gonna do 2.5. I'm gonna square off, and you guys can see that it's an angle. Do you guys see that? Yeah? Can you see that, Damari? It's an angle. I want you guys to get closer if you guys can't see this. So then from C, I'm also gonna square off the 2.5. And you guys are gonna see how I'm going 2.5, 2.5 all the way to the back. So the shape that I'm looking for, the shape that I'm creating is this one, where it's perfectly square on all these corners. Does that make sense? But right here, okay? So it curves out, curves out. Then, once I have that, now I'm gonna go play with this guy. This is where I get to fold this back up again. And I get to play, that's why I did it on the Come on, Chef, come on, Chef. You guys see my lapel right there? This is where I get to play how much I want to go out open for that notch collar. Does that make sense? For this little piece right here, okay? So, I'll give you actual measurements, but it's up to you as a designer how you're gonna wanna do this, okay? So my actual measurements are going to be 3/4 of an inch away from this little guy. I'm just gonna go up. Oh, what the fuck? I mark 3/4. And then I'm gonna make it a 1 inch opening. So I'm gonna mark it over here, and it's gonna go straight like this. You guys see it? You guys see it? Yeah? Okay. But does that mean that I have to abide by that? No, this is just standard. And if you guys wanna exaggerate it or make it smaller, bigger, closer, it's up to you guys, okay? But it helps when you guys fold it over and look at yourselves in the mirror, okay? Once I have that, I'm gonna open it back up. And I'm gonna be able to see it on this side. I'm gonna make it permanent. You guys see the little notch going on right there? Then this is gonna connect into this area here where I have originally already squared off. What can I use? I can use my straight ruler, I can use my hip curve, I can use my French curve. Depending on your line, it gives you different reactions. Sorry, the ruler. Okay, so let me draw what I'm talking about. I'm gonna draw it on this guy just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I know this is a shawl. Right now we're doing this, like that, right? So if I use the hip curve to connect it, it's gonna give me this. You guys see the curve? If I use my French curve, it's going to give me this kind of effect. Then if I use my straight ruler, it's gonna give me that effect. So do you see how a different type of ruler gives you a different effect? So it just depends on what you wanna do, okay? So in my case, I wanna make sure that I have it nice and straight, so I'm gonna just do a straight, I'm gonna use a straight ruler to go from that point straight to where I had already squared it off for C. You see this little point? That's what I wanna blend. And then I'm gonna blend the rest. Are you okay with it? Okay. Should I make the rest of it permanent where the red line is? So it's gonna go from here towards C, towards K, over and down. Do you guys see it? Ow. So if I fold this over, it looks like that. You guys see it? Is it making a little bit of sense now that it's folded? Yeah? Okay. Now, can I turn this into a shawl? Yeah. What would you guys do? I did the collar. I know where I want the collar placed in. I have my back neckline.
Just get rid of the notch.
Get rid of the notch. Literally, I'm gonna grab my hip curve or whatever curve I need, and I'm going to blend this from here over. Do I see it? That's it. This whole thing stays as one piece because this here gets sewn to the back after I sew the shoulders. Okay, that's now a sewing thing. But if, other than that, if it's a notch collar, it gets traced out. The collar gets traced out, okay? We're not gonna worry about that until next class. I just want you guys to get started with your map like this, with your collar on there. Make sure that your line's on there. If you're gonna make this a princess, make it a permanent princess. If you guys are gonna make it armhole princess, Serena did hers dartless, so she moved things. Adam already did a portrait color. Does that make sense, you guys? I want you guys to play with those things, if necessary, with your style, okay? Any questions about the color? Is it making sense so far?